The developer 3 Sprockets must be absolutely enamored with hack and slash RPGs, because Fight the Dragon feels very much to me like a love letter to the entire genre. What Fight the Dragon does is it takes gameplay elements of something like Torchlight 2, and it combines them with a character and content creation system that feels like a mashup between Minecraft and Little Big Planet. And what you get when you mix all these elements together is a series of small user-generated levels that are as fun to play for 15 minutes as they are all day. The way that you access all these levels is through the game's hub, which is your character's house. But there's a lot more to the house than just jumping into a level and playing the game. You can do all kinds of things from this hub, like creating new characters or managing old ones, or you can jump into the Adventure Construction Kit, which is the game's built-in level editor. And lastly, as the game name implies, you can fight the dragon. Now that's a lot to take in at first, so let's just start with the core gameplay. When you start a level, you access it through the adventure map, which is a series of squares, and you pick which one you want to play, and it gives you a brief description and allows you to either play it or not. Once you finally start a level, Fight the Dragon feels exactly the way that it should. Most of the damage that's going to be done is through your primary weapon, which can be anything from a sword or a mace to a spear or an axe. Each character class also has its own unique set of special abilities that require energy, which is rage or mana, to use. And there's also a third way to deal damage, and that's through the more generic heavy attack that all of the characters have access to. When you take these different kinds of attacks, it provides the perfect number of options, so that the game feels strategic and isn't just a bunch of left clicking, while at the same time isn't overwhelming with too many different skills and abilities. And as you fight your way through each of the user-generated levels, you're going to run into chests which contain loot. And I mean a lot of loot. There are all kinds of helmets, gloves, armors, weapons, and potions that you can find that will help you along the way. And all the while you're fighting off monsters and looting all these chests, you're also going to be gaining experience. And experience nets you, of course, new levels, which allows you to apply stat points and also gain new skill types. And for me, the way that the leveling and item system works is particularly special in Fight the Dragon, because all of your items and levels stay with your character in between levels. But what's really great is the fact that all of the levels, regardless of when you fought them, scale with your characters. So if you have one character that's level 5 and geared out, and you have another character that's level 1, that same level is going to feel different to each of those characters based on how powerful they are. And that means that if you found a level that you're especially fond of, you can go back and play it again after you've gained all new gear and experience, and it will still be just as fun and just as challenging. And that brings us to the other half of the game, creating levels. And the way that you do that is by accessing the Adventure Construction Kit through the hub at the hero's house. And this Adventure Construction Kit is deceptively powerful. The way that you manage the camera and sculpt the landscape feels vaguely like a 3D modeling program. The level editor provides you with access to an entire palette of textures that you can use to create the floor and the walls of your level. From here you can go on to create all kinds of different enemies within the level that have different behaviors and different skills. And if hitting the player with a bunch of monsters isn't enough, you also have access to several different kinds of traps that you can use to try and kill off the player that way. And as if monsters and traps weren't enough, the level editor also provides a simple logic system that allows you to link buttons and keys to unlocking various doors. This means you can create one-way doors, you can create doors which require a barrel on a button, and anything else that you can possibly imagine. So now that you've created some levels and you have a geared up character, it's time for the game's namesake, Fighting the Dragon. You access the dragon fight through the game's hub at the character's house, and it drops you directly into arena with just nothing but you and a big red dragon. Now the dragon has an absurd amount of hit points, so this means that there's no way that you're going to be able to kill it in a single try. But the dragon's health carries over with every attempt, so every time you try, you chip away at his health a little bit more. Now it's probably going to take you dozens if not hundreds of attempts to kill the dragon, and this provides a great motivation to go back and find new user levels, get more experience, and get a lot better gear. Now this game may only be early access, but we still get full control of the game's resolution and full control over graphical settings. And I have to say that I really love Fight the Dragon. I'm super excited for the future and I can't wait to see what new features that 3 Sprockets adds to the game. I fully recommend this to anybody who even remotely likes the hack and slash RPG genre.